Hey guys, welcome back to Plot with Trish. I am Trisha, and today we're going to talk about Tower of Dawn. So, this book is supposed to be, read at the same time as Empire of Storms. It's a tandem read. You can do it, it's your choice. It's literally your choice. Um, this book takes place at the same time as Empire of Storms, but it's what happened. The events that take place in this is from Kjell and Nezrin's point of view, because they've left for the southern continent to get Kjell's legs healed, I mean the spine healed, because he can't walk anymore, and to gather an army, allies, for Aelin and Dorian. So let's get started. So Kjell reaches the southern continent with Nezrin, and his job is to convince the Khaggans, they are the kings, the Khaggan, to fight against Erawan and find a healer that would help him walk again. So it turns out the Khaggan has six children, and over there it's not like the eldest gets to be the heir or whatever. The Khaggan gets to decide who is the ruler, so it's always sibling rivalry and stuff. Really difficult. So Sarthak, one of the heirs, commanded the rooks. The rooks were like wyverns but smaller and faster. They were bird-like creatures. So the Kagan said that he would consider whether to help or not, while Kjell and Nazrin stayed and got himself healed. Uh, one of their children had died, a daughter. Uh, they hear that the witches had taken over Adarlan, and Kjell is worried about what would have happened to Dorian. But then he's like, no, Aelin is there for him. Then Kashin, one another son, he leads the Kagan's armies. He thinks Erawan's spies have already infiltrated their court, and because he refuses to believe that his sister actually committed suicide, and he wants Kjell's help to prove that it wasn't suicide, it was murder. So Yeren from Assassin's Blade, uh, the healer who Aelin helps. So she's there. She's the main character in this book. So she has been a healer here for 2 years. She wanted to go back to Adarlan to help fight the war. Kashin actually had feelings for Yeren, but she did not return them. Hafiza is the head of the healers, and she asks Yeren to heal Kjell, but Yeren refuses. She does not want to touch a guy from Adarlan because of what happened to her mother. So Kjell was searching for the Valgamon court. He was looking for the black rings and stuff, but he didn't find any. So Yeren shows up to examine Kjell. Kjell tries getting information from Argan, another son. He's the clever, cunning dude. He refuses to give him any information about what was happening in Adarlan, in Terrasin and stuff. Then Nezrin meets her family, her uncles, aunts, and her cousins. She meets them. While Yeren was examining Kjell, she finds out that the part of the evil was attached at his spine. There was something dark attached to his spine that was preventing him from actually being healed. As you know, the Valg in the King of Adarlan had done it. It was repelling Yeren's magic, and Kjell told her everything about the Valg. He didn't mention the word keys, but he told her the rest. So Yeren was researching in the tower about the Valgs, and she actually finds scripts over there. But it was really interesting that there's Valg stuff and Fae stuff over there, even though Valg never conquered the southern continent. They were always after Adarlan, Terrasin, and stuff. So it turns out there are three Val kings: Orcus, Mantix, and Erawan. Orcus is the oldest. So while she was researching these scrolls and stuff, there were word marks in it. She doesn't recognize that they're word marks, but it's obvious. Something tries to attack her in the library, and she finds a dead healer, the life completely sucked out of her. You know how familiar that sounds, right? So Kjell agrees to teach self-defense to help in self-defense to Yeren's class. Yeren actually takes a class to teach girls self-defense, as you know she promised Aelin to do so. Yeah. Kjell has no idea the impact Aelin has on his life, and he has the audacity to speak to her that way. God, that guy should be begging her for forgiveness, literally. Then Yeren starts healing Kjell, and it was utter agony. And then Nezrin starts spending time with Sarthak to see if he will send aid to help them, and she rides a rook. Yeren sees images of Morath while healing Kjell, and she was unsuccessful. Then Nezrin tells Sarthak about the Valg. Okay, so there's like two parts, Nezrin and Sarthak, Kale and Yeren. It's like taking place separately, and soon the stories are going to divide and then come back together at the end. Yeah. So Yeren tells Kale about what Adarlan actually did to her mother, and Kale is heartbroken for her. Her mother was burnt alive by Adarlan soldiers. Eren somehow manages to break through the darkness in Keal's spine, and Keal's toes start moving. Then Hasar, another daughter of the Kagan, she's actually sort of a friend of Yeren's. She orders Yeren to spy on Keal for her, and she manipulates it such that Keal and Yeren are always sitting together and stuff in parties. Hiran obviously tells the truth to Kier and also asks him what to tell Hasar. And Kier just tells her that Aelin might be there at Skull's Bay because he knows the history between Aelin and Rolf. So he assumes that she won't be there. But obviously, Aelin, everyone, they're there. If you watch the previous video, you know. So Yeren gets the books and the scrolls that she finds on Val to Keol's rooms full of word marks, and Keol orders her to hide everything because he knew spies were there everywhere and no one should know what they were actually discussing. Yeren says that the other two Val Kings, because they were sent away, who's to say that the Val Kings are not waiting at the gates to enter again? And Keol is struck with fear. So now Keol could start feeling his legs while Yeren was working on him. So now the story divides into two parts. Nezrin leaves with Sarthak to the Rukin to see the Rukin. She just leaves a note for Keal. So now it's two different halves. Okay, so first I'm gonna talk about what happens with Keal. Yeah, and then we'll go to what happens with Nezrin. Okay, so the Val had come for Yeren and almost broke into Keal's room to kill her, and something is after Yeren basically. Uh, then Yeren and Keal, sort of start falling for each other. Hasar and Argun make it sound like Aelin is a tyrant, a conqueror. They make it sound like Aelin wants to come and conquer the entire southern continent, which he would never do. The news about Nehemiah's country burning reaches Keal. They throw it in Keal's face, and Keal cannot even stand up for her. He cannot. He's such a piss off. I hate him so much. He's such a prick. He knows how much that country means to Aelin, and he still thinks that she would go burning down kingdoms just to force them to ally with her. What? How could he think that of her? How could he? God. So Yeren and Kael admit that they're in love with each other, and they go to the desert for Yeren's birthday. Yeren manipulates Hasar to take them to the desert because there's a cave over there about Fae that they need to research. So while Hasar was having the party, they went into the city of the dead, and they saw Valg and Fae depictions. It was a Fae burial site. The Fae had made sure that magical gifts from the Fae had bled into the human bloodlines to form healers. That's how healers existed. That's why the southern continent was known for the healers. The Torres Esme, that's why. Uh, that's why they were protected here and in Dorinel. That's why Maeve protects them. She collects all the healers, the Fae, and then she protects them. The healers could be used against Valg. That's what they figured out. And Yeren and Kael sleep together. Then when they returned, someone had completely trashed Keal's room and had taken all the books and scrolls except for one. And they take the scroll to Hafiza to ask her about it, and Hafiza said she needs some time to give the books about the word marks and stuff. She doesn't know why the word marks are there, but she asked them for some time. And then finally Yeren forms a theory and figures out how to heal Keal. And turns out the only way you can heal the darkness, is by going completely into it. Go where you fear. So Yeren completely heals Keal, and Keal can walk again. And then they figure out that it wasn't Mala who made Athril's ring, it was Silba, the goddess of healers. They hear the news about Aelin's army, about what was happening what had happened in the Stone Marshes. They don't know that Aelin was captured, and it was Lysandra wearing Aelin's skin. Um, so we're gonna pause over there. Okay, we're gonna go back to Nesrin and Sarthak because I cannot believe I'm saying this, but their information is way more important, a lot more important. So as we know, Nazrin leaves with Sarthak to go to the Rukin, and they finally reach the Ruk clans, and Sarthak is the captain of the Ruk clans. They meet the merchant. The merchant is a shapeshifter, and this dude is the one who gave the square of spider silk to Selena in Assassin's Blade. His name is Falcon Ennar. So the Hearth Mother, each clan has a Hearth Mother, who's basically a mother to Sarthak. She says that the rook eggs have been stolen by Stygian spiders, except the Stygian spiders are called the Karan Kui in the southern continent. They are much more ferocious, they don't deal with spider silk. So that's why Falcon was there. He wanted to learn how to slay them, he wanted help to get his ears back. So the Hearth Mother, I forgot her name. Anyways, she knows about Erawan. Turns out a word gate had opened here and had allowed the Stygian spiders in. So the Stygian spiders were also Valg. Yeah, God knows what else is not Valg. Bad enough that Erawan is cooking shit over in Morath, and now there are actually Valg creatures coming in from the gate. God. So the Fae were there in the southern continent to teach them how to fight the spiders. Had taught the Rukin how to fight the spiders. They had built the Fae watchtowers all over the mountains, and Nezrin and Sarthak go to the Fae watchtowers to find out more information and get caught by one of the spiders. And Falcon ends up saving them because he sneaks there. Then they get to know that he's a shapeshifter, and Sarthak also gets to know about the word keys, and he's upset with Nezrin for not telling them, but asks Nezrin about the word keys, but Nezrin doesn't know anything because she's been away from Aelin for so long. Then Nezrin and Sarthak travel to other watchtowers, and they get caught in the Dagul Fells with Falcon. Falcon is sitting as in a rat format. So turns out the spiders had actually laid a trap over there to catch Rukin, and they kill one of the Rook babies in front of them. So they try to escape, but then Sarthak gets stuck over there, and he confesses his love for Nezrin, and the spiders grab him. So Nezrin goes and finds a way to save Sarthak because she loves him too, and she lets herself get captured, and she gets so it turns out there was a doorway where the Valk passed through, and the spiders stand there guarding for it. The spiders wait for their queen. Yeah, I never expected this. I was like, what? When I read this. But yeah, so it turns out Maeve was the queen of the Valg. She had married the oldest Valg king, Orcus, but his powers were not enough and she wanted more. She world walked here and figured out and decided not to leave. She loved this place, the greenery. The emptiness was not enough for her. The Valk bitch had taken Aelin. Yeah. So Orcus ended up following her here, and he figured out how to use the word keys and stuff, about the keys and the gates. And it turns out Maeve had disguised herself as a third Fave Queen, a third sister. She had ripped into Mab and Mora's minds and made them believe that they had a sister. Three queens. When the kings arrived, they didn't recognize her because she was in Fey form. So before she could banish Erawan with the keys, Brannon stole the keys from her. So yeah, then Falcon had shifted into one of the spiders to rescue them, and and then it is revealed that Falcon was Lysandra's uncle. He reveals that to Nezrin before going to fight off with the spiders so they could escape. Then Bot, his Hearth sister, Sarthak's Hearth sister, comes to rescue them. Okay, now pause again. So they find out so much information about Maeve and stuff. This is what Nezrin and Sarthak's role was. Now let's go back to Keol and Yeren. So they go back to the library, but Hafiza had completely disappeared. Then they go to the tunnels and they find the iron key for the library left over there. And obviously, Yeren realizes that it's a trap, but they still go because they have to find Hafiza. Okay, so turns out Duva, the pregnant daughter of the king, was Valg. Yeah, that was unexpected. It was expected but unexpected. I don't know. She was like portrayed as a really innocent person and stuff. She was the one who killed the other princess. So she was attacking Yeren, and Keol jumps in front of the attack to save Yeren, and the attack falls right to his back, his completely healed back, and he's shattered. He's like on the verge of death. So Kjell was dying, and a god speaks through Hafiza to ask if Yeren would pay the price. Without even asking the price, Yeren agrees to pay the price, and Kjell's life is saved. Their lives are connected. The healer is completely connected and saved Kjell's life. Then Sarthak and Nezrin arrive, and they're watching what is unfolding in front of them. And so turns out now Kjell and Yeren share one life. Her power would let him walk whenever she was strong, but when she was drained, he would have to use a wheelchair. So when they die together. They leave the world together. So turns out there was a Valk princess in Dova. We only saw Valk princesses, we did not see princesses. So yeah, Yeren cured her, literally cured the shit out of her. And now we realize why the king of Adalin was killing healers. Yeah, because healers could be used against the Valk. Just as Aelin's fire could be used against the Valk, the healers could cure them. They could save so many innocents, literally. Then they get the entire army. Turns out Aelin had written a letter to Hussar long ago, and Hussar decides to fight. And they get the entire army, the Rukin army, everything. Kashin also helps. And Sarthak is named heir. And Sarthak wants Nezrin to be with him. Yeah, Sarthak and Nezrin get together. And Nezrin's family, her father and stuff, they made it from Adarlan and they reached to the southern continent, and she's so happy to see them. And Kjell gets married to Yeren, and he realizes that it was Aelin who saved Yeren 2 years ago, a couple of years ago, yeah, in Inish. And yeah, that guy owes her everything, literally. So yeah, turns out Maeve is the Valk Queen, and except for these people, no one knows it, and they're on their way to Terrasin to fight the war. I don't know what's going to happen to Aelin, because the last chapter there's like a small snippet about how Maeve is getting ready to torture Aelin, and I don't know how I'm going to read Kingdom of Ash. I know it's going to rip my heart out. I just know it. But power through. I've already read it, but God, the thought of reading it again. I don't know what's going to happen to me. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Bye.